Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review The Girl with All the Gifts. Our greatest threat is our only hope.
Directed by Colm McCarthy, starring Gemma Arterton, Glenn Close, Paddy Considine, and Sennia Nanua. The Girl with All the Gifts is about a teacher and a scientist in the dystopian future, and a horde of zombies invades a lab. They're forced to leave their compound, and their journey continues with Melanie, a girl with a very special gift. Before we get into our review, there is a big spoiler that we have to talk about for our review because it's essential for how the story plays out. It happens fairly early on in the movie, but it is definitely a spoiler. So if you don't like spoilers, you have to leave the video now. For everyone else, let's get into our likes. I like the world that was created for this movie because it gives us a unique take on how zombies came to be.
We found it in a David Attenborough documentary, The Secret Life of Plants. It is a parasite on ants. The spores attach themselves to the ant's body, and basically the fungus takes over the ant's nervous system.
It didn't seem like a regular zombie movie. It was different. But at the same time, it was familiar. In the zombie genre, it's hard to get that across, and I think they did a really good job telling a different zombie story.
And this leads into a big spoiler in this movie. Melanie is a zombie that can act like a human, but is rabid when she smells humans. Humans have to put gel on them so that they don't smell like delicious food.
These children were in the womb of their mothers, got infected, and then broke free. But they weren't like the other hungries is what they referred to them as in this film. They weren't like them because they didn't have like the mutated skin where the fungus is taking over. The fungus was taking over on the inside, coating their brain, where they could still function as a human, but they just had the hunger. And to me, it made the film more tense because you're surrounded by children.
Look at the creepy little fuckers
who look normal and act normal, but at any moment can just snap and eat you up.
And being that one of these children is our main lead, played by Sennia Nanua, she did a fantastic job. She was very convincing as somebody who grew up in a compound, now exploring the world, but also living with this problem that she is a zombie. And she did a phenomenal job.
One of the best developed characters in this film was Paddy Considine, who plays Parker. He starts off as a dick, but then as the movie goes, he becomes one of those characters who you feel for, who you just want to root for because you understand why he hates these kids. And by the end of the film, you love him.
And that's not to discredit the character development for anybody else. Glenn Close did a great job as the doctor. We also had Gemma as the teacher, who had a really strong connection with Melanie, and there was a great relationship that's been built there. And you have Kieran Gallagher, who's kind of more of like a grunt that just is taking orders.
He's like an expendable. And in fact, there's a moment in the movie where you see Melanie's character, she's hungry, and you can tell she's hungry. And Kieran's like, I'm gonna go get some food. So they let him out. And then Melanie's like, I need to go eat right now. So they let Melanie go. And you're just sitting here like, wait, Kieran's out there all by himself. Is Melanie gonna eat Kieran? Now, I wanna talk about the world itself and the actual aesthetics. Surprisingly, it is all on location. Like, there is minimal visual effects. This is something where they went to an abandoned hospital, they went to all these like hangars that were decrepit and destroyed with the environment actually like growing over top of them. This world was real, and that is what made this film believable.
The environment also added a lot of just like texture. Like everything that you're looking at has some kind of interesting characteristic. Whether it's a zombie that's just kind of rooted his feet and he's swaying in the wind like a plant, or it's the plants on the buildings themselves. It's this detail that makes you so engrossed in the environment to help all of this along. Of course, we have beautiful cinematography with lots of dolly moves and lots of rack focusing, and just everything as a package made the whole production feel larger than life. Now let's move on to our dislikes.
I have a bit of a nitpicky dislike here because I enjoyed the pacing of this film. It was different for a zombie movie. It's much slower, but at the same time, there were moments where I felt things went on too long. This film is almost 2 hours, and I think maybe 15 minutes could have been trimmed, and you still would have had the same impact.
I wasn't a huge fan of the ending. There are a couple questionable decisions that are done right at the end of the film that aren't really explained, and even after watching the behind the scenes, I don't feel that we completely understand the motivations. We have some theories, we can't talk about them, but you are gonna scratch your head and you gotta like think or talk with a friend to really figure out why everything plays out how it plays out. Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings. The Girl with All the Gifts is one of those movies I wish I watched 6 months ago so it could have made our best of 2016 list. It's got an amazing atmosphere and environment. All the characters are well developed, and the zombies had a scientific explanation that made sense. And it's just a unique concept to have like a child or a second generation zombie living with humans, and it's trying to create a new world with zombies, I guess. I did have some issues with some of the final moments of the movie, but all in all, I highly recommend it and you should check it out. So I have to give this 4.5 outfits when you want to look nice and you're going out for dinner and you decide to eat ribs out of 5.
I really enjoyed The Girl with All the Gifts. I felt this was a fresh take on the zombie genre because they tried a lot of new things but kept to the traditional formula that we're used to. I enjoyed the look of the zombies. I enjoyed the way the characters interacted with each other. It was well developed and the story was very interesting. And if you like zombie movies, this one's gonna be different for you. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this film 4.5 meals out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on The Girl with All the Gifts if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, Lionsgate just released a brand new Blu-ray which has an amazing little featurette for the behind the scenes. You can find a link to that in the description below. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel and stay updated with everything Bloodbath and beyond.